Hey, I want to show you something I've been using every day for the past few months. It's not a concept, not a wireframe, not a promise. It's a real product that writes my emails, my sales pages, yes, even the script you're hearing right now. So the whole thing was it was written inside a tool you're about to see. The product is Branded Voice, mybrandedvoice.com, and for full disclosure, I built it, but I also eat my own dog food, so to speak. Every launch email I have that I've sent out this year, every sales page, every bridge page, every video script for this launch series was written inside of Branded Voice, the very tool that you're hearing right now. So this is not a walkthrough of something that might come around someday. It's the actual thing I use to produce the marketing that you've been reading and watching. So let me start with why this exists. I have a way of writing. You probably do too. A rhythm, a vocabulary, a cadence that your readers recognize as you. But writing everything yourself takes forever. And hiring somebody who sounds like you is nearly impossible because they just don't have your voice. Meanwhile, the alternatives are bad. You can type a prompt into ChatGPT. You can get a block of text that sounds like every other marketer's ChatGPT block of text. Really, I mean, it's competent, it's correct. It's also instantly recognizable as AI. So I've gotten to where I can spot it very easily when I look at content these days. So your readers know it too, and they scroll past it. So the other alternative is you could try to edit that generic output into your voice, which works okay for one email, but the time you rewrite every sentence to sound like you could have just written the thing from scratch. So the question was, what if you could train an AI that was your actual writing voice in about 10 minutes, and then you could use it, and then you could just take that and copy it into your voice. You can make it sound like you. So not every voice approximated, not your voice hinted at. I'm talking about your voice sentence by sentence without you writing a single line. So that's what branded voice is. Okay, so that was the whole purpose of the building this thing, and it started out as just me doing it for me, and then AI actually said, this that sounded good. This is actually a sellable product. And from there, branded voice was born. It was one of those things that I expanded on it, kept going, and where I ended up was here's a thing that works for me, but this could work for anybody. This could work for you in whatever way you wanted to create your content that sounded like you. And that was the reason for the product. Okay, here we are on a brand new account that's not trained yet. It's on the dashboard. And what you're going to see is your quota that's available depending on your plan. And there's a how this works section that you'll notice over here. You can get tooltip helps, and you can chat as needed with the integrated chat bot if you have any additional questions. So right now our voice profile is not set up. We've got to train it on how we write. And what I'm going to do is answer some questions and go through the interview process and actually take some of my own writing material and train it. The whole process takes maybe 10 minutes tops. And once that's done, any future content that we're going to create will sound like me. Okay, it'll be in my writing style, or in your particular case, it'll sound like you. That's the whole idea. Now, once we've got the voice training done, and we fed in some other information, it's going to take this knowledge base of all these pattern cards, all these different direct response copy writing examples from literally about the last 100 years. I even baked in newspaper headlines and known converting ads from back the turn of the last century when it came around, and before computers ever existed, before any of that did, but it was stuff that would elicit responses and get conversions. So depending on the type of content that you're generating, it's going to select the combination of those cards combined with your writing style to give you the unique output. Nobody else is doing this, okay? If they do, knock them out, have at it. But let's go ahead and walk through this real quick so you see what I'm talking about. So right now, we want to go set up our brand voice. So you're going to see the onboarding right here. So we'll go ahead and click here. And right now it's just kind of a blank slate, and it's wanting you to paste some samples of your real writing. So I went ahead and prepared some of my information over here before we get started. I'll go ahead and put first, let me just type in who I am, marketing with Marty. That's my main brand. And now I'm going to go take some of the things of, what I do, who I am. And I have all this in my persona from chats I've done with other things. So you may not have any of this. You may be just starting out, and that's okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to take that and build off of it. But I'm going to go ahead and copy some of these things, and I'll show you what I'm about to paste in here. All right, so what we have, let me go ahead and expand the window a little bit. What do you do, or what do you sell? So I've been marketing online for years. I build and launch my own products. I promote affiliate offers. I run an email list. I'm not going to read into the whole thing. Talk about who my typical audience is. This would be your audience for who you typically are marketing to or writing to, and the types of things that you write. Maybe describe what your writing voice is. I like to be casual. I'm actually going to put that here. So direct, honest, and casual by design. Okay, and it talks about I don't do fake scarcity. I don't do any of that stuff. I like to use PS lines, phrases I like to do. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick this off, and this is a good starting point. And it's actually interactive. It's going to ask me additional questions if it needs to know more. So we're going to begin the interview. It's going to analyze this. Once it analyzes this information, it says, give me you gave me a lot already, name, domain, offers, et cetera, et cetera. You may not have that much, okay? And that's okay. You could start from scratch and just answer questions. Now it's going to ask me, do I have 3 to 5 pieces of my own writing that I can paste here? Some emails, might be sales pages, might be posts you've done on social media. In this case, I'm actually going to take some emails that I sent out to my master list last month around branded voice, around this very topic. And I'm going to take these exact emails and we're going to paste those in here. Now that I've given it that, it's going to take what I gave it to begin with. It's going to take what I just fed it that it asked for specifically. And now, that's gold. 3 real samples with your actual voice. I got enough to write the profile. American English, right? Yes. And I like to use whisper flow, so I'm actually going to dictate to it real quick to save some typing speed. Yes, American English, Southern U.S. Profanity dial. Just leave it off. It's light. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes it doesn't. And let's see, what's the next question? Yes, I typically use my same voice regardless of what it is, what I'm promoting. So same voice, same tone across the board. Now, I've given it enough for it to go on that we should be able to build out our profile from here. Business side, just a couple of quick ones. What are the main affiliate programs or offers you promote right now? Names, prices, what are your email platforms? Okay, so for me, I do a variety of affiliate promotions, make money online, work from home, side hustle opportunities. I teach AI automation, and I teach practical use of AI. I do a lot in the cryptocurrency space, passive income space. And for email platforms, I use Sendy, Sendy, as my preferred autoresponder because it's self-hosted and I like it. And I typically send to my list. I have several lists, but I typically send at least once a week, if not more often. Now it's going to take everything that I just dictated to it. Maybe not. Okay, that's fine. Main affiliate programs and offers are make money online, side hustle, passive income space. I teach others how to earn passive income with cryptocurrency, not through trading, that type of thing. And I also like to use Sendy, Sendy, as my autoresponder. It's self-hosted. I prefer that. And I typically email my list once or twice a week. Sorry, the dictation didn't take on the first pass, but mainly because I didn't hold down the right hotkeys. That's okay. So now it's continuing to think through here until it has a good enough idea of who Marty is. Okay, what I do, how I write, how I do promotions, those types of things. So now that it's got that, let's see what we got. It gives me an example. I'm not going to read a bedtime story to you, but let's look through here real quick. Subject: my voice, your voice. Smarty, you've been on enough lists to know the problem. Every AI copywriter sounds the same structure, same phrases, same delve into nonsense that nobody says in real life. Branded voice fixes the one thing nobody else fixed. It learns from you. 10 minutes, a few writing samples, and it writes like you on a good day, not like a bot, not like the other 50 affiliates on your list. So I'm not going to read the rest of that. It did incorporate my name and my PS line. I like to use PSs. I get a lot of action from PS lines. Notice it incorporated that into what I'm doing. That looks really good. Let's go with it. And now it should be wrapping up. Voice is captured. We've got our training done. And now we're going to go write our first piece of content. Okay, so now that we have our voice trained, we are going to generate an email. We're just going to start with a single email. You could generate any number of types of content that you want, but we're going to start out with this. The topic, well, first of all, the goal of the email, we could choose if we want to sell something, we want to nurture our list, we want to tell a story, which is what we're going to do. Or if you wanted to re-engage your list, maybe they're unresponsive, you could write an email around that and make an announcement. Those are the categories we have today. So we're going to tell a story, we're going to nurture. And the topic or hook, we're going to choose the actual product that this is about. We're going to say branded voice, AI copywriter trained on your own. And we're going to choose call to action to get started today. Actually, I'm going to change that to learn more here. Okay. And what it draws from, who it's going to, my email list. It's going to be going to marketers and affiliates who write their own promos. And the angle or hook that you see right here, this is a very small email written by the product in my voice. And if you can't tell, that's the pitch for it. So that's all it is to it. For us to generate this, we could upload content if we had other things that we wanted to base it off of. But as a starting point, because we didn't go through a playbook to build out a bunch of stuff, we just trained our voice. The very first thing we're going to do is write our first email in our voice. So we're going to click generate email. We're just doing one email for this. In a few seconds, it will have gathered up what the pattern cards are that it needs to use. And it'll start assembling that. It'll take the voice that it just learned from me, and then it's going to stream it and write it in real time. Now, some AI tools, you'll notice they kind of spit everything out in a box. You don't really see anything that comes from it until it's completely done. This actually does it in real time when you're looking at it. So it's, the very first generation, it's got to assemble all these things, figure this out, build the indexes, and then start generating the content. So here in just a moment, We should see it streaming that email. And once we're done with that email, I'm going to show you, here we go. I'm going to show you how to generate other content from the email. So here's the email it wrote, and it should be done. You'll notice that it's finished because the Save to Library button is available for you to click. If it's still writing it, this will be grayed out until it's finished. So here it is. Smarty, this email was written by Branded Voice. If you can't tell, that's the pitch. I've been working on this thing for a while, an AI copywriter that learns from you, not a generic prompt, not a template you fill in, yada, yada, yada. You can see everything else. And it actually embellished that quite nicely. Threw a PS line in there for me. Now, I don't have a link that I've assigned to it right now, so I put a placeholder as kind of a nudge and a suggestion to create a link. But what we're going to do right now, I don't need to make any refinements to it. You could tell it you wanted to. You could go ahead and build up some subject lines for it. We can look for some monetization opportunities, but for the purpose of this demonstration, we're just creating the one email. I'm going to save it to the library. And in the next demonstration, I'm going to show you what we're going to do about creating a bridge page based off of the same content that we built the email from. Okay? Alrighty. Okay, you saw how we generated an email. So what we're going to do in the bridge page builder is actually build a bridge page. And if you're not sure what a bridge page is, think of it as an interstitial or splash page, something that sits in the middle, a man in the middle. So if you're sending cold traffic to an offer, or you're trying to send cold traffic to anything on the other end, you stick a bridge page in between to intercept that cold traffic. If somebody wants to get more information about it that you've given on the page, they'll click on the button and they'll move on to the offer. That warms up your traffic, and it goes from cold traffic to warm traffic. So that's the purpose of a bridge page in a funnel or a standalone offer. So you'll notice there's a green scan button over here. The very first thing we're going to do is take our offer page, which in this case is mybrandedvoice.com, and we're going to click the scan button. Now I've already filled in some information over here for you to see. While it's scanning to see what the page is about, it will do a real-time lookup of the page. It'll scrape it, it'll crawl it, it'll pull in information that it finds. Here's what it found, actually. It pulled in every bit of information about the offer. It knows what it's about, and it does intelligent scraping. So it first looks at it, it analyzes the content, and then summarizes it so that it can create a more intelligent piece of content out of it. Now, you don't have to scan a URL. I recommend that you do if it is something that has more information, and you don't have to copy and paste all that. You can just scan it and it'll pull that in. So it'll take this, okay, and then it'll take what else you've given it. In this case, we're just going to say the product name is Branded Voice. The affiliate link, if it was a real one, it would be here. We're just going to put the JV page. And inside of here on why I back it, the story with it, I just put some filler in here about it, on when it launches, how much it is, bonuses, the angle, the hook, who it's for, and what the target audience is. Between that and what it's surmised down here, if I wanted to, I could include some bonuses that are going to be offered in it, and those will get announced on the bridge page. If there's a video that goes along with it, a YouTube or Vimeo link, you could drop that URL here and it'll embed it in the bridge page. And if you have an image, a hero image could be any call to action image. It could be some kind of graphic that comes with something that you're promoting. You could upload that here and it'll get put in the page. So literally, when we click generate bridge page, it's going to go through there. It's going to take my trained voice. It's going to take that information about it. It's going to generate a page, and then it's going to be in a draft format in our library. And we're going to go look at the library as soon as this is done. Give it just a moment. Now, it's important to look through what it generates first. Decide if it's something that is worthy, if it captured it the way you wanted it. And you can use the refine option. It's streaming it right now, what it found. We can preview it and see what it looks like, which is what we're going to do instead of looking at the raw text. But if we decide we want to change something, we can click refine down here. Or if we're good with it, we'll go ahead and save our changes. And we'll say, hey, we want to write some promo emails for this. We're going to write some social traffic posts around it. Any number of things that we want to build around it. So right now, we can see that it pulled these pattern cards. It pulled in honest review, bonus stack, call to action, discipline, all those things that are known to convert and work based off of what we were writing. Now let's go preview this before we save anything. And in the default style, the standard landing style, we could choose that. We could do a split hero where it's like that. We could do an editorial. We'll just go with a standard landing, and we could change our color scheme at any time, and we can do more of this inside of the library. If you want to, you could see what it looks like on mobile. So everything that's built and published is mobile responsive in the site. So an AI copywriter that learns from your voice, not your average AI, yours. So this is the above the fold that if you were going to share this, if you're going to pay for traffic and send it to it, you would see that above the fold. If somebody wants to read down below, here's the standard FTC affiliate disclosure that's in all these pages. And you can see it did a pretty good job of writing what this is about. All of this was done in just a few seconds, okay? So all of that looks good. If I were going to click on this right here, it'd take me over to that JV page or whatever my affiliate link was that I plugged in. And what we're going to do is close the preview, and we're just going to save it. It now exists inside of our library. So if we click on library, here's our bridge page. You'll notice it's in the draft mode right here. Let's see what else we want to do with it. So we could say, hey, I want to put this in part of a collection, but it's already put it in its own category of a bridge page builder. But I'm going to build one that's a new collection around branded voice. And a collection is just an organizational structure, a folder, if you will, that it falls beneath. See right here, we have branded voice. If we open it up, we can see that's here. If we created any other content, like this email that we generated a while ago, I'm actually going to make that final, save it, and I'm going to move this into the collection. So I could go ahead and say I wanted to make this belong to my branded voice custom collection. And now it's in that folder structure, okay? So real quickly, let's go look at our bridge page that was built. We've got all different types of designs. We'll go choose the ignition one. That's kind of a cool one. Let's preview it and see what that looks like. So here we could see kind of an orange starburst. If we wanted to change the color scheme, we could just click through them. There's blue, green, purple, kind of a red color. We'll go with a red, and we'll leave it dark. And I'm going to go ahead and save my changes. Now, if you had a niche that this belonged to, let's say it was, in this particular case, we'll just say it's make money online, okay? So I'll pick that. Or actually, we'll choose self-improvement. We'll come over here. And I'm going to change the design here. So by default, you don't see any kind of additional images on here unless you change it to a split hero where you have details on the left side and you see an image on the right. So now if I previewed this, it brings up a stock image that we have available when you choose that niche. So it's like, well, that doesn't really talk about copywriting with some guy jogging through there. So we'll go change this to make money online. Poof, there it is. We've changed the image, and we'll be adding some more images along the way, but that covers it right there. So here we are with a split screen hero version, nice little backdrop, and everything we need to see inside of here. It's got some bullets, multiple call to action opportunities inside of it. Looks better than just the simple text page we had a while ago. So we're going to take that and we're going to publish it. And as soon as you publish it, every single page has its own stats, its own analytics around your entire funnel, everything that's over here, and it tracks all your visitors. And I'll show you that in another example later on a bridge page that actually has some live traffic being sent to it for an offer. So we went from concept, from just a few prompts, to building out an entire bridge page that's self-contained, can promote our offer, and we could send cold traffic to it, okay? So everything we needed to do is right there in that. So that's it for this demonstration of a bridge page. I will see you in the next video. Okay, I want to show you a neat little feature that's baked into every asset that you create. And it is the ability to have stats and analytics built in. So I didn't want to build it where you've got this massive analytics dashboard that you have to figure out. So I decided to make it basically tied to each collection and a traffic report that you can get on each asset that's inside the library, whether it's a standalone asset or it's inside a collection. So what you're looking at right here, we're going to focus on one that I sent some test traffic to. I was trying to test an offer, and it was a couple of CPA offers, cost per action network offers. One was a split test where I was doing a squeeze page with an opt-in. So you can see the form code that's embedded there. Let me show you what the page looks like. So here was the squeeze page, and collects an email, and it would take them through to the actual CPA offer on the other end of it. And then the other was a bridge page with no opt-in that actually goes to another offer where it's just a click through, but it intercepts the cold traffic, takes the click, sends them on through, and if they're interested, they'll do something and it'll convert on the other end. Now, I'm not going to get into all the conversion tracking and all that stuff. That's for later in a more advanced series in the Academy after the launch. So what I wanted to show you now is how you can look at it from a holistic view where you can look at the entire collection. So you can see where the test traffic was sent. I did low dollar testing, okay? So I didn't need a spreadsheet. I didn't need a separate analytics tool. The page I published in one click, it came with this report built in. So when I got ready to roll, I sent over the test traffic for like a $25 budget, I think is what I set, with pop under traffic, which is typically less quality traffic but higher volume. And it generated 7,940 views. Of that, 7,440 visitors were unique, and it had 4 opt-ins. Nothing really to speak of. I see that as a non-converting set of offers. Okay, so before you spend any higher dollar on traffic, if you choose to do that, you want to test it out. You want to see if you get any kind of conversions on it whatsoever. And the other was the bridge page. It got 7,511 visitors and 11 click-throughs, but no conversions. Okay, so having 2 different networks that I sent some traffic through on a real low dollar budget allowed me to find out very quickly if it was an offer that would convert or not. And if it's not, I'm not going to spend any more time on it. I'll swap out the offer, something else. Getting the traffic to it wasn't the problem. The traffic strategy behind it and the quality of it was the issue. So, you could go look at these also at the individual level. So we'll just say the squeeze page there, I want to go look at its traffic report. I can see all the referring domains, everything's built into it. You can see how many visits were on each day. And then we come over here and we look at the bridge page. You get the same types of stats. You can see the referring domains. You can see everything about it. So you can know which traffic sources were actually working for you. So like the referred domains, I could see clearly I got 2,351 visits from that one. This one had 720, 380, and so forth. So if I'm testing paid ads somewhere, or I'm testing traffic sources from anywhere, it really doesn't matter where you want to do it from, then you can find out quickly what's working, what's not working for you, and you can find out which ones actually resulted in conversion. So you'll know this traffic source A over here had no conversions. Traffic source B generated, a small amount over there, and then you're good to go. So it really comes down to looking at what you're testing, looking at what you're sending the traffic to, and then you'll know if you need to make tweaks. Maybe you need to make a new version of your squeeze page. Maybe the color was different, okay? Or maybe you wanted to do another split test variant. It's very easy to do that in here. You could just create another page. You can duplicate it off, and I do advise you, if you're going to do split tests, that's kind of above and beyond what I'm showing you here. But if you are going to do split tests, only change one thing, okay? Change one thing per test. So that way you'll know what actually made a difference. You don't want to change 10 things on something and find out that, hey, that worked really good, but you don't know what you did to make it work better. So everything in here, like I said, everything that's here has its own analytics and tracking behind it. So the count that you see over here is how many elements, how many assets, I'm calling them assets, but how many assets you have in your collection in this library over here. So like that one has 12 in it, that one's got 9 in it, and so forth. And then you just drill down on them to get to the things that you want to look at. And you can look at the individual stats, or you can look at the holistic stats for the entire collection. Okay, so if you built a whole funnel out, so you went through the, for example, if you went over here and you launched a course, or you came over here and you created an entire low ticket bundle and you wanted to test that funnel end to end, you could visualize that and see where your conversions came from, where your traffic came from, and know if it was working, if you had a weak step in it. But it's very easy to do without a whole bunch of deciphering and needing some mathematics degree to look at the analytics. I try to make it as simple as possible when you're looking at them. Okay, so that's how the stats work inside of the platform. Okay, in this video, I want to talk about the library and version history. I want to talk about the way that you can track all of your revisions to your content when you work with it. So I'm just going to pick one at random here. Here's one that I did where I did a review post. I made some changes to it. I changed its look and feel, changed the text around a little bit. And notice at the bottom, there's a version history. And you could see that the current version, which is what we're looking at right here, there's the current version that's there. And you could see that if I wanted to go back to a prior revision, I could just click restore and it'd put it back to the version it was right before. So I have a private repo of source code that's just for this platform. And inside of it, everything that you generate, everything that you create, you have your own repo that keeps up. Repository is what repo stands for, that keeps up with all of your changes. So any piece of content that you make, anything you do, you basically have an unlimited version history. You could go back to any prior version. You could roll it backwards anytime you need to. So maybe you totally screwed up the thing you're working on. You can easily put it right back to where it was. Just another handy feature that makes it restorable. And maybe you wanted to test a new version. Let's take that angle for a moment. Maybe you were running some traffic to it, or you're putting a promotion out. You wanted to try out a page design that you did, but you didn't want to go make a bunch of different versions of the page. So you made the changes to it, you tested it out, and you're like, nah, that really didn't work well for me. So then you just turn around and you restore it back to the version that was right before it, to the one you did have, and then you're done. And it's just one click away. There's nothing to it to make that process work. Okay, just a little hidden feature you might not know that's there because it's kind of obscure down toward the bottom. But every piece of content that you have in here is in the version history for each thing that you make. Okay. In this demonstration, I want to show you how we can take a single piece of content and turn it into multiple pieces of content. This is one of the most powerful features of the platform. And there's a few ways to get to it, but we're just going to cover it from the actual library standpoint right now. So if you recall, we made a single email after we trained our voice right here. Okay. And then we created a bridge page. But now we're going to create some other stuff. We're going to take stuff that we've already made, and now we're going to expand it and repurpose content to make new content. Okay. And it just keeps going. There's no limit to it. So let's start with the bridge page. Let's look and see what we have right now. Let's go ahead and do a little preview of it. Okay, so here's here's our current bridge page. There's enough content in here to talk about what this is. Now let's go look at our email. Pretty much the same content, just phrased differently, because we built the bridge page from the email. But now, let's just leave the bridge page setting where it's at. Now we're going to take that original email, that one email we made, and there's two ways to do this, okay? You can go over to generate, and you can actually go through an entire playbook, okay? A playbook is a organized set of steps to help you go from, we'll just start with promoting an affiliate offer properly. These playbooks right here, it's going to go write a review post, the promotional emails, create a bonus stack. It actually creates the entire bonus stack for you. Subject line angles, and then there's some other things you could create from there, but those are all orchestrated for you. You just step right through it, and you could be done in just a matter of minutes. And then you have all the other generators that are in there, but that's for another video. So notice it has build with this piece right here. And you could also choose any of the other content types that are in here that are available in your subscription. Okay, so we're going to take the email that we made. Now we're going to go make, I want to go take that and I want to build a, what do I want to make? You know what, we'll go make some community posts for social media and other places to tell people about it, okay? So I'm going to click on community posts. Notice that it already pulled in the topic of what it was about, okay? And we're going to say this is going to be for the school Amplify AI workshop community, which is mine. But this could be anywhere. You know, it could be any place that you wanted to build a community post or thread that you wanted to talk about. The type of interaction you can choose. Hey, I'm looking to get replies from people. Maybe I want other people to share what their stories are. I'm trying to poll people, teach people. So we're just going to do an announcement or update. In the format, we could do long or short. We're going to go ahead and do long. And I'm going to tell that I want to make two variations of this. So it's going to make me two unique versions of it. And notice it has my pages, so it already knows that we built a bridge page. So it's intelligent enough to know as you build other assets, you could either put a link here, or you could just click here, and it'll automatically insert that link to your bridge page that you made. Okay, so that's where we're going to go. We're just going to send it over there for now. So I filled in all the fields. We'll click here. In here, in just a few seconds, you know, it's going through the cards, it's figuring out what patterns it needs, and then it's going to start writing that in our voice with the patterns it selected based off of what we told it we wanted. So here it is. It's already streaming it out there, post number 1. And notice this is now available to save. So it finished generating. So I'm going to go ahead and save it. Before I do, though, I wanted you to see, here's where it looked through its card catalog. I know that's old terminology for a library, but it looked through its card catalog of patterns, and it decided to use these specific ones to help design the type of post I wanted, okay? And we'll go look through it, scan through what we made in just a moment. So I just saved it. So we're going to come over here, and now we have our community posts, okay? So that's the entire workflow. 10 minutes to train your voice, 2 minutes to generate an email, 3 seconds to publish a live page, which is really cool. And stats are built in. Revision history, the branching, all of it is running on an AI engine that knows actual copywriting patterns, not generic language model output. So the engine doesn't just produce words, it produces the right structure, subject lines that get openers that earn the next sentence, and benefits that actually sell. So call to actions that convert, the PS lines that close, all those things that make up a quality piece of content and a personalized piece of content, that's what you've got with it. So it's trained on what actually works in the direct response market, and it applies that structure to your voice. Okay, let's talk about how to stay informed, how to know what's going on in branded voice. So what I've tried to do is incorporate any major milestones or updates to features, things that would be of interest to you when you log into your account. You'll notice that new patterns, if you subscribe to the upgrade to get the additional knowledge-based patterns that are pushed to you, so that as you create new content, as I add new pattern cards all the time, you'll receive those as updates. So notice next time you generate, there's 77 fresh patterns that have been added to this. So it's an ever-growing thing. And these are new marketing angles. These are things that that other marketers or copywriters have done in the industry, where I've taken those concepts and applied them. I don't plagiarize their content. I don't just take their stuff and use it. I analyze what they're doing and incorporate that into pattern cards. So you want to find out what's going on. You click on what's new. And in the what's new, you're going to see, major roadmap items, things that are coming, things that are in progress. But then you're going to see dated feature announcements or things that are noteworthy. I'm not going to put everything in here, but the things that you want to know, like where I added stats to each of the items that you saw on the prior demonstration on that. And when you share pages, they're SEO optimized. They have better designs. They have more meta information, OG image tags, all that good stuff when you share them elsewhere. And you can see, if you look through here, you can see training was added to the academy over here. All those things that you want to see and know about as they happen. This is your one-stop shop to find out what's changed. And unlike other sites, my goal is to keep this updated. So if I'm building a feature, I'm shipping a new feature, I'm shipping something that changes, I'm going to put it there for you. And eventually we'll start sending out an email newsletter, if you want to subscribe to it, that will be any updates, basically pushing you back here to the what's new section in your dashboard. And there'll also be blog articles that are going to be helpful to you, but right now it's mainly just company information, just to keep things going. But the what's new section is the one source of the truth to know what's going on in the platform, what we've done with it. Any social posts that we create about it basically come back to whatever the feature was that we shipped here. So that's how you stay informed of what's going on. At any time, I'm going to move my camera around here. At any time that you have a question and you can't figure it out, if you click on the integrated chat, ask your question. Okay, the way I've built this is the chat bot is specifically for this platform. It's not a third-party chat bot. I built it just for branded voice. So everything that it knows inside of here is about every feature and every function and anything that you need to know how to do inside of here. So let's just say real quickly, how do I create emails on a piece of content in my library? It has a reference knowledge base to know exactly what to do. So it tells you to go open that piece of content from your library, look for the build with this piece option, click on it, select the type, etc., etc. Everything is self-contained there. As new features ship, as new things are in there, or something changes, it's all there built into the chatbot. Okay? Alrighty, we're going to wrap this one up. Hope this helps. Here's the shift that matters. For 2 years, AI has been really good. I think it's about 2 years. AI has been really good at helping you think. Ideas, outlines, drafts. But you were still the project manager, the prompt writer, the developer, the editor, the person copying text between 5 tools at midnight. With branded voice, you change jobs. You stop being that intern who assembles everything, and you become the operator who approves it. And you can focus on that instead of all those other pieces of it. You give it the brief, it writes in your voice because you trained it. You read it, you say, yes, that's me, or warmer, shorter, punchier. Then you publish and watch the stats come in, okay? So you direct, it drafts. That's the relationship. It's that simple. And your voice is the one thing, this whole AI gold rush, that nobody can copy. I built this because I wanted it. I wanted a tool that amplified my voice instead of replacing it. And I kept using it because it actually works. It writes my launches. I kept tweaking it to get it better for me. But in the same token, I made it where